Just put it in flight mode. Can I just have this? Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sai Krishna. I'm director at Marvel. Marvel is a special purpose vehicle created by Government of Maharashtra to push artificial intelligence in various sectors, including governance. We had a beginning with Home Department. We worked on solutions for Home Department. Some of them we will also demonstrate today. In the last April 2025, Government of Maharashtra has decided to extend the scope of Marvel to cover other governance-related departments as well. So as a part of that venture, we have now started working on general governance-related problems as well. So we will cover some of our solutions that we have built specifically for doing AI-based interventions at a district level. We did a pilot project at district called Sindhudurg, so which is India's AI first district. And we will cover some of our solutions which we have built for the field professionals in medical field in Sindhudurg. We will cover other sectors as well going forward. The first application is a junior doctor chatbot because most of the times the junior doctors are directly posted to rural areas. They are competent, no doubt, but the circumstances and situations that they generally face are often very complicated. I'll give you one simple example. There was an old patient who was bitten by a dog. Now the doctor knew exactly what treatment to do, but she had no idea how much dosage to give because the woman was weighing only 45 kgs. Now going back and forth, checking various textbooks, guidelines, that would have taken a lot of time. And because of her frail age, it is very difficult for her to survive excess dosage. So that junior doctor looked towards our chatbot and asked for a query, and our chatbot answered accurately, if this is the weight, this is the dosage you should have given. And this is a real example that we have received from our users in the district of Sindhudurg. Now this gives you a good idea on what critical gap that we are actually covering in the field. And because there are so many junior doctors and very small number of qualified doctors, there is always a demand for time and attention of a senior doctor. Our idea is to reduce it as much as possible. Now, we always have one big challenge when we build a solution like this. What if this solution hallucinates and makes a mistake? This is a matter of life and death. So we have taken extraordinary care and precaution to ensure that the model only answers based on Government of Maharashtra's Health Department guidelines, then ICMR guidelines, then WHO guidelines. That's it. This model is specifically trying to say, I don't know. Because that's an extremely important thing in medical field. So currently we get around 10 to 12 clinical queries, around 115 sessions we have seen, all 115 sessions have been done very well. And I can also tell you, on an average, a doctor would use the chatbot for 8 minutes, which from our expectation is something that we did not expect. We thought probably 1 or 2 queries and move on. Now we realize the new generation doctors are more friendly and comfortable in dealing with it. And we see this also as a sign of increased confidence of the doctors on the system that we have built. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah. Like I explained briefly, so the solution is designed to be user-friendly. Currently it runs on a browser within a mobile app because we realize some of the doctors have iPhones. And building an application for iPhone is very, very complicated and difficult. We thought let's keep it simple. Let's build it like a web application, which you can open on a browser and also chat with it. And the doctors are to be onboarded onto this platform only with the permission of the civil surgeon. So some authentication checks and mechanisms are also kept in place so that this data is stored. And whatever data that we collect from this platform is all safely and securely stored in Marvel Cloud within our data center in Maharashtra. So none of the data ever leaves the physical boundaries of Maharashtra too. Our data center is located in IIM Nagpur premises in Nagpur city. Yeah, this was an extremely complicated scenario when we started working on. Some of the common questions that we see are about cobra bite management, abdominal pains, and randomly, diabetic patients and heart risks, which are pretty much common issues that we have observed junior doctors keep querying for. Now, this is also another valuable insight for the district health administration to understand what are the key challenges that their field formation are observing. Now, this input can also be utilized at a later date to plan stocking of the medicines and also run awareness campaigns or any other intervention mechanisms. Now, this is the beauty of AI. AI is also able to brilliantly bring you data-based policy making. We believe that this is still in a very early stage, and we believe if we roll out a solution like this across Maharashtra, all 34 districts, we will be able to create our own heat map of the key common topics where most of the young doctors find themselves stuck with. Now, you can convert it into two types of solutions. Solutions for building awareness programs to the audience, and also to ensure that the junior doctors are well trained during the college itself, so that when they get out, they already come with answers now. And also make them friendly to understand and deal with such complicated systems. Next slide, please. Yeah. So currently we are working on increasing the scope of coverage. Because we are deployed in a rural or a suburb place, we want to replicate it to a place like Mumbai. What is the challenge? The diversity and complexity of challenges that the junior doctors face in city like Mumbai are very, very different. So to ensure that there is no shortage of knowledge gaps in the system, we are retraining with 21 standard textbooks, which all doctors prefer and read before they get MBBS. So effectively, we are upgrading our model to the level that is expected from a standard MBBS doctor on its own. Of course, the model can never beat a human. Steve, stay here. I'll tell you next to change. Of course, a human, he can never meet a human, obviously, but this is the idea is to build a supporting person to aid the junior doctor. That is the most important aspect. And wherever there are knowledge gaps, wherever there are new treatments available, new solutions available, we would like to introduce. And one common thinking that we also keep hearing regularly is, what about home care? So we have not ventured into that space, but that is also another direction. So that we can take, so that we don't have to recommend all the time allopathic drugs, which may not be really conducive. But that is a topic that we are leaving to the policymakers. That's not our cup of tea. But yes, that's another angle. Wherever we can try to recover with home-based treatments, why not? So that we reduce the burden on already overburdened hospitals in rural areas. Next slide, please. Now, this also aligns very much with Niti Aayog's guidelines on how to use AI in healthcare sector. And I'm also very happy to inform all of you that Niti Aayog team has visited us in Sindhudurg and studied this model, interacted with our doctors, and documented as a model that can be replicated across at least the aspirational districts of government of in whole of India, not only in Maharashtra. So next slide, please. Yeah, some examples and regulatory. We also have an advantage of staying in IIM Nagpur campus. So IIM Nagpur provides us the governance and ethics based inputs to ensure that our models are always aligned, to ensure that they are not misused, or the models do not respond to questions in a self-harm manner. So that advantage also we take from being present inside the campus of IIM Nagpur. So now currently our prescription is for the junior doctors to use junior doctor chatbot for only diagnosis and decision making and treatment in complex cases. We will also cover one very common case that we see, that is for fractures. Now there is a fracture. Till a radiologist signs it, a doctor generally does not want to start the treatment. But in a city, in a district like Sindhudurg, which is very big, the traveling from a rural PHC to district headquarters and getting a radiologist signature could take 2 to 3 hours. So it is not an ideal situation where you can have such amount of time, left. So what we came up with an idea is, why don't we use AI to help the junior doctor or the doctor in the PHC quickly get a sense of what it is. And remember, this is just advisory in nature. We'll cover that subsequently. This is one other very, very important use case which we have seen a lot of active results from. And next slide, please. Yeah. And when we started talking to doctors, we also realized one big challenge they had. Their data is distributed between different PHCs. And we also the doctors themselves started observing, I know that there are few of my children who come to visit the hospital are undernourished. But I have no way to track them because they no longer always come to the same PHC. So we built a network to track all the children who visit any of the PHCs, even the Jila Parishad hospitals, collectively at one place. Now, if there is a child who is undernourished, who visited any of these hospitals, we are able to track him. And this information is also actively shared with Anganwadis and others to ensure that these children are given proper nutrition. I'm also happy to tell you, when we started this exercise, we had around 117 children who were observed as critically malnourished. Now I think the number is down to some 17 or 18. So that is a deeply satisfying moment for us at Marvel, and I'm sure it will be even more satisfying for the people in the health department and the CEO, JP CEO's office, who have been really keen on working with us and getting it. So total, we have processed close to 26,230 children and detected around 469 with moderate acute malnutrition and 30 with severe malnutrition. And now they have been tracked and then tracked to the closure. Next slide, please. So the dashboard actually sort of looks like this. Now this also gives the civil surgeon a good idea on where the malnutrition pockets are. And that's what we thought originally. But what happened is we realized the JPCO is more interested in this, because most of the interventions also happen through their mechanism. So eventually we have a very active relationship between both the district collectorate's office and the Zilla Parishad office actively working together. In fact, we could see the data points that we keep getting is actually from both the groups. And they are working seamlessly to get a good view on where the gaps are, on where the intervention must be. Now, our plan is also to see if we can get data from the Poshak app or push the data to Poshak app to help the Anganwadi workers also get a very good insight on the data. Next slide, please. Yeah. So these are the key contact points for us. Next slide, please. These are some of the local maps that we have created for the district. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. This is a process of deployment that we have prepared. The data input is currently collected from different apps. Because today we cannot directly integrate with Poshan app, so different local units, they export the data into Excel files and then upload it into our platform. And then our platform automatically classifies the children into SAM, MAM, and normal. And then very interestingly, what we have done is we started adding diet planning. Now, this is another very unique to Sindhudurg solution that we have built. Because generally, most of the diet suggestions that we get are not really based on models, AI models designed in India. So we had to train and retrain the model to suit the local food habits and available items in the rural Sindhudurg areas, so that the parents can actually pay attention to it and actually implement it. So this was another very, very interesting solution that was built here. So then the hotspot and diet planning. Now, diet planning is still an ongoing journey. We generate good diet plans, but it's only good when we see that children is actually improving weight. So till that point, it's a continuous journey for us. So we play active and we interact actively with the ZPCU office and the DHMO, DHPO officers and then to get it done. Yeah, outputs are shared with health and officials. So this is like a loop. Now they do action. When the children comes back, we track the update. So it's a complete loop now. Next slide, please. Some of the key features of our application. So today we are able to profile by nutrition wise the children. Is he properly nourished or not nourished? This is one record we have. Now, obviously, this also has a lot of implications for your educational outcomes and others as well. So this also can be used as a feed for it. GA mapping of heat maps, AI-powered diet plans. This is something that we are very proud of and something that we believe we should make and replicate for the entire state of Maharashtra going forward based on the experiences that we have gathered during the Sindhudurg experiment. And this is actually, like you can see, the advice can also be highly specific to a place, highly specific to a region or a community, or also to any specific genetic problems or anything as well. There is a amount of personalization of the solution that can be built into this. And there is continuous loop. So did the Anganwadi workers really deliver nutrition? That is something that we can know on a case-to-case, minute-by-minute basis when the child comes back into any of the network of the hospitals that we are covering currently. Next slide, please. So most of the diet plans that were generated are for children who are 24 plus, and we continue to give them because this is the toughest period of giving diet plans, 0 to 6 months. And genuinely, I think most of them would prefer to stick to mother's milk. So that would be a great source of thing. So here the focus should ideally be on mother rather than on the children, so that the mother is able to give good quality, get good quality of nutrition to ensure that the child is taken care. Next slide, please. So this is our future. This is our future plan. This is something that we are discussing with the district. This is something that we are also believe can be rolled out at an entire Maharashtra level for getting very good insights across the state of Maharashtra to make targeted surgical interventions to fight the disease of SAM and MAM in our state. Next, yeah. This program is also aligned with Poshan data availability fair, paperless governance. This, I think, are things that I think everybody should expect from any AI-based project. So I will not dwell on a lot of time on this one. Next slide, please. Now, this is a problem statement that we realized when we went and spoke to the radiologists. So we realized most of the PHCs do not have a radiologist. Only radiologist sits in a district headquarters, and radiologist is very busy man because he has to look after all the patients coming from all PHCs towards the radiology. So now he is very occupied. Everybody wants quick solutions. How do you solve this problem? So this is where we came up with the AI solution. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Most of the challenges are starting with this. Frontline support, huge delay in diagnosis, very limited access to radiologist, and this creates a burden for the radiologist because he's also burnt out from morning till night. So what we did is we built a simple solution, which is basically an AI-powered chatbot. All you have to do is get your DICOM file or a photo of your X-ray, upload it. It will analyze it and generate a diagnosis based on what it has seen in the X-ray. Now, any good doctor, even a junior doctor, will be able to make sense of it and say what exactly is the problem, and at least start some treatment immediately. This is our end objective. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. This is how the platform looks. Upload the scan. Automatically, it will start showing you insights. Again, this data is again securely sovereign, stored inside. No APIs, no internet. Everything is offline. Imagine integrating this with the SAM-MAM platform. You are able to create a full profile for the children. Now, any government hospital will have access to the entire history of that child from childhood, so that they can give better medicine, better care. This is eventually what we will believe it will happen in the going forward. Next slide, please. Now, what we have done is this. Go back, please. This model was obviously not 100%. 100% was able to solve because most of the AI models that we have seen come from the COVID background. Most of them are trained on COVID data. So they are very good at chest-based X-rays, cough, pneumonia, but they actually fail at basic things like fractures. So we worked with the government of Maharashtra, with the health department, to secure a lot of X-rays with masked label data, and we retrained our own model now. Now Maharashtra has its own model without any external dependence to evaluate and score their own X-rays. Next slide, please. Now you see the details of the ankle jars and broke. Everything is far more in detail and far more accurate. So this is a model that we are releasing coming forward in the next 1 or 2 weeks. So those who are interested, please reach out to Marvel. We'll be very happy to extend it if you're a government department without any charges. Next slide, similar. A more detailed analysis, a more detailed findings than what it is. So we still believe this is 1.0 version, and we will be increasing, we'll be working on it continuously with the big hospitals in Mumbai and big hospitals in Nagpur to ensure that the accuracy keeps on improving, and better solutions are coming out with available medicines and available diet plans in Maharashtra. Next slide, please. Like I said, the flow is very simple. Next slide, please. So these are our partners currently who has helped us with the data, with the direction of the government of Maharashtra. So the solution is, of course, user-friendly, multi-device support, recommendations. We have not opened this solution to the patients yet, and we are not sure we should be doing it because this is basically a medical advice, and we keep it restricted only to doctors whom we believe has the ability to decide whether the advice is right or wrong. So this is one limitation that I think we all have to accept. So this application is not open for public. It's only open for medical professionals only. Yeah. This is the impact metrics. So far we have studied more than 100 patients in the district, and the total number of X-rays that we have seen for processing and retraining and building are more than lakhs. They are in lakhs. So the model accuracy is very high because of that. So we have to roll this out to, we are looking forward to rolling this out to many other users in rural Maharashtra so that the service becomes more and more valuable. Next slide, please. So we are able to cover different varieties of X-rays. Like I said, most of the X-rays in the foreign models are the models that are of the data sets that are available in abroad. They generally focus on chest-based X-rays because these are all the data set collected during the COVID period. So like you all know, AI depends and thrives on availability of data. We don't have data for basic cases. So that was the first lesson that we have learned, and that also drove us to start collecting our own data to build sovereign systems which serve the local needs of our people. So with that relationship, we reached out to hospitals. We collaborated with them to collect data by anonymizing it. At the same time, taking the doctor's findings also along with it, train the model, test it, benchmark it, repeat this process over a period of last 8 months. Now we have come to a new model that we are very happy to share with all the people in Maharashtra. So this is what we believe. Marvel, as we always say, Marvel is based in Maharashtra, but will serve the entire India. Case study, next. So like I said, alignments and all data is entirely stored inside the data center of Government of Maharashtra. And when we deployed in Sindhudurg, we have built a data center inside the collectorate of Sindhudurg. So the data center is called Medha Sindhu. We'll be very happy to show you guys if someone is coming to Sindhudurg. So that data center hosts all the data of Sindhudurg. And that data center is entirely managed by Marvel. Next, please. Yeah. Another problem statement that we received when we went to the district level is also from the forest department. Next slide, please. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah. This was a very, very interesting engagement. Next slide, please. Yeah. Just stay on the page. Next slide, please. So basically, the bigger challenge here is there is a huge amount of human-animal conflict. So forest department was looking for a simple, effective solution where they can advise the farmers about an impending attack from the animal, and so that the farmer can take some precautions to protect his farm. So only data that they had was last 5-year record of which region, which animal, what is the cost of damage that they paid for. So with this data, we said, let's work on this as a very interesting challenge. We created a time series model, which eventually caught the migratory patterns of most of these large predators. And right from the day one, we were able to predict around 25%. So as a machine learning team, we were very disappointed, looking why 25% is not a good prediction rate. But when we gone through the data, we realized for the large predators, our accuracy was close to 80. So there is data about parrots, rats. So these data points were actually, there is no pattern in it. It's just a local pest. So if you remove that, when you're looking at larger predators, we actually have a very good accuracy. And eventually, by working with forest department people, we figured out what we have actually discovered is the migratory paths of these large animals. Now, each animal has a preference of food. Like if there is a sugarcane farm, elephant don't mind taking a U-turn and going and eating it there. So these patterns we have captured and we started mapping it here. Now we are able to generate predictions. Next slide, please. Hang, is it? Yeah. Okay, time out. Hang. Slowly and steadily. It will work. Huh? Everything will work slowly and steadily. Yeah, go back. So, so basically, this 12,000 record, which is logged by the beat officers of the forest department, forms our major base. So there are around 1,709 incidents which are created by animal cost, and we have around 4,560 incidents. We have mapped them by diligently working with the forest departments. Next slide, please. We keep on collecting data even if there is an attack. Now the beat officers do it directly on the platform. So no more manual record keeping. And this data that they give us is used to verify and improve our algorithm constantly. So did we predict right? Did we predict wrong? Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. You have some snapshots? Next slide, please. Go back, please. We can put some snapshots next time. Right, please. Yeah, I think we'll cover this subsequently. This would be better if you can show us some sort of a demo or something. Because basically the idea is like this. Most of the incidents that we are tracking and closing are based on information that is given by the local field officer. Now, one interesting thing that we gathered in our interactions with the forest department is, now for the first time, a forest guard, when he goes to a farmer, the farmer is happy because he's coming to tell him something which will help the farmer directly. So rather than just being an enforcement officer trying to conserve the forest and trying to say you guys are creating trouble for the animals and all that, he's actually trying to be proactive. So this very interaction between the forest guard and the farmer has actually drastically changed because of this application. Now the forest guard is an important person for the farmers. When they see him, they want to know what is going to happen next week, tell me. So this has changed the way the whole ecology or the relationship between the department and the officers, or the department and the farmers, suddenly changed because of this small intervention. Now we are keen to follow up on this intervention by adding more tech. Now that part of that tech work is currently happening in Tadoba and other places, which I will cover subsequently. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is in Pench. We are working in Pench department. So here we are trying to do 2-3 important suggestions. One is putting cameras, and second is also deploy what we call as bioacoustics. Like all of you who has visited a safari, you would know. Next slide, please. Anyone who has visited a safari, you would know forest has its own ecosystem. If there is a tiger, you make noise. Other animals make noise. Next slide, please. This is a deer. Now, frankly, the challenge is, for a human himself, it's very difficult to find this is a deer, it's not a tiger. Imagine teaching this to the machines. That's the peculiar challenge we had. Next, please. Yeah. So, next, please. This is a boar. So basically what we do is we keep surreptitiously cameras around the localities, and we observe any predatory movement which is towards the village. And once the camera spots a predator movement, it also sees if there is any human around it. If there is a human around it, it immediately makes a noise and flashes an alarm just to scare the predator. And also indirectly to notify the human that there is a predator nearby, please be careful. If not, it immediately notifies the forest department that we have spotted a tiger. Next slide. You have an audio signal here. This is a tiger, you can see. This is a night camera, this is a thermal camera. So this activity, generally tigers are expected in the early mornings or late evenings. So we are able to create a map where the tiger is found. But of course, this data is extremely sensitive because this can be misused by poachers to lay a trap for the tigers. So which is why all this system is completely protected from the internet. It is hidden behind VPNs and multiple layers of security. So only forest department has access. Villagers will be told only through public announcement systems or these flashers and lights. Next. So this is a series of cameras we are trying to build now currently. Again, this data is also not really sensitive. Yeah. Some other locations where we are deploying. Next. Yeah. So this is another very, very interesting technique that we have deployed. So to ensure that we don't make wrong alarms. So this requires us to build an entirely different ontology. Ontology means how the whole ecosystem functions. Like for example, a langur noise cannot differentiate. A langur alarm call will be same for a leopard and a tiger. So this and all this also we had to build by reading around hundreds of research papers and map them into a logical structure called as ontology. Next slide, please. Yeah. So this is our technical solution. Next slide, please. Yeah. I think you can see. Go back. And unfortunately, these animals themselves don't make noise much. They're all stealthy. So if you're trying to hear a leopard, please God be with you. You will not be able to hear a leopard. The only place where leopard really makes noise is when it has cubs around it. It is trying to discipline the cubs. Otherwise, these animals are extremely stealthy. It's very difficult to expect them to be spotted in a CCTV also, because they try to avoid common paths. Next slide, please. So we had to follow a very rigorous method to ensure that the videos and the audios that we are collecting through the camera are not polluted by human, are not polluted by human interference. Like for example, there is a gate to segregate any human created noise, because 3 people may be standing in front of the camera and talking and dancing. So we should still be able to hear the leopard or the tiger making a noise or the alarm calls behind. So it was really a very complicated solution that we had to build on. Next slide, please. So this is the logical chart that we have built. A samba repeated bark, 90% chance it's a tiger. 35% chance it's a leopard. 10% chance it could be a bear. So this is based on research that we have figured out by looking at a lot of research papers, published papers. Similarly, we figured out leopard sawing call, 95% it's a leopard, because it's really difficult to figure these calls out. So these are some of the signals that we seek in the audio. And only when these signals are heard in the audio, then a calculation comes up with a probability Now let us say there is an animal, I'm hearing a langur call, I'm also hearing a cheetal call. The probability increases. So it's a complex system that we have built in to do voice detection, then category aggregation and recovery filters. Next, please. Yeah, basically you can see how we really process the alarm calls. There's a commotion, 3 flags. Now this is the alarm calls. But a total of 16 loud events we have heard in this. But out of 16, the real alarm calls are only these spikes. Next, this is a sambar call. Yeah, clear. So here you see how the algorithm functions. Now the algorithm thinks 32% chance this is Panthera pardus, which is a leopard. 28% chance it could be a tiger. Now these are very high probabilities according to our system. So alerts are emitted. Because this is a score, weighted average of all the calculations that I've just explained to you. So anything about this, it is announced here. You can hear the actual sample. Noise, 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 noise. This is a sambar call. You see the thresholds? Tuck. System knows there must be a leopard or a tiger around it. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is one langur call. Play the video, please. This is actually live. One of my boys who was in the sanctuary, he recorded it. The langur. Langur saw it. There's a tiger around. So the forest guard said, see, it's making noise. So this is high confidence tiger. Next. So like I said, the rest of the videos and just content create. Same. This was not obviously like a straightforward problem that we can solve. And I am also certain that the deployment that we did in Vidarbh will not be same as what we will do in Nashik or we will do in Sindhudurg. Entire ecosystems are different. So this is a type of work that we are doing in Marvel. Next slide, please. So the cameras are deployed like this to the tree bark or. So there are 2 types of deployments we do. One is just around the village. So they are again like a normal electric pole type setup. Then some cameras are left inside the jungle. So these cameras are the ones which actually give us intelligence about is there any animal moving coming towards us. Next slide, please.
So are they asking for the tiger sighting for the tourism also?
No, ma'am. These are largely, forest department wants to use it only as an intelligence source. Like I said, there is a poaching risk. We will be, if you try to use it for tourism purposes, we're worried about a poaching risk. Because using this information, any person can predict where the tiger will be tomorrow. So, which is why another demand that we also commonly get from forest department is, can you sense human around the camera? Human is not supposed to be around the camera. Which is also why we had that anthropology gate, the human gate in the camera. So when it senses noise, it also able to tries to figure out, is this a human noise? Are there humans around me? Are there any radio frequency emissions? Like is someone switching on radio around me? So that intelligence is extremely valuable for them to identify poachers. So that is why this information, I don't think they will use it for purposes. Next. Maybe they may later do it like an ecology study or decide to put a trial. So, but that will be based on data and their comfort. Similarly, we also built another very sensitive solution for coastal security. Because of the confidential nature of the solution, I'll try to cover it very briefly. So next, please. Yeah. So basically, idea is a coastal area like India, a state like Maharashtra, has a huge number of points where people can actually alight the boat and then disappear into the country. And for police with a very small force, it becomes really difficult to supervise most of these uninhabitable or even difficult to reach areas. How do we do it? So we have worked on building a solution which is deployed at multiple locations on the coast of Sindhudurg. So which locations obviously are confidential, but we will be able to quickly see 4 or 5 important red flags. Is there any unattended baggage? Why is there an unattended baggage? Which means someone is trying to drop something with the hope that someone else will come and pick it. Are we seeing new people here? Why are the new people here? Are we seeing any vehicle without a number plate? Why is a vehicle with a number plate here? Are we seeing anybody whose face is covered with a mask? So these are the red flags. Quickly run through, please. Yeah, next. So this information obviously gets fed to the various departmental units, and then we cover it. Next, please. The workflow, next. We also identify unnecessary fighting, brawls, and then notify, because all of them could become elevated risk at a later date, because it could be a community fight or anything else. Yeah. So broader idea of this solution is to give the police department sufficient time to plan a response. That is the biggest solution that we are looking at. Of course, enhanced coastal security, audit trail, proactive crime prevention. They're also able to plan, okay, where are the areas which are not guarded? Suddenly we find 5 people walking and going around. Where did they come from? We have no idea, which means there is a gap in our coastal security plan. There's somewhere else which we are not covering. It's extending. So this is something that I think currently DG sir was also very appreciative of. The police department Maharashtra was very appreciative of this effort. So this is all done as a part of AI Sindhudurg project, which was driven by the Honorable Palak Mantri Nitesh Raneji. So he was very keen on deploying these solutions and trying to ensure that unwanted events don't happen in the district and the security and safety of the population is taken care of. Next. So we also have plans to create a Telegram channel or some sort of a mechanism to update the local other departmental units who require this information but are not part of this secure network, so that they can also act. It could be tourism department, maybe a tourist is lost, so just roaming around, they don't know what to do. So those type of things also can be done by connecting it to the district department or others. So, but that is probably a different project. We also improved the quality of patrolling in Sindhudurg by working with the police department. Now every beat constable will have to, is measured on whether he do patrolling or not. It is real data. And anywhere where there is a lapse, the beat constable is instantly punished. So I'm sure this is another project that got a lot of attention in the police department as well. So of course we have completely removed most of these paper-based methods. So to give confidence to the public and also the police senior leadership that this mechanism of beat patrol is effective and it is able to adapt to the emerging requirements of the district in the first place. Next. Yeah, actually you can track literally where the constable is at any given point in time. Did he finish a beat or not? So this is how the flow is. He has to go to every beat spot, take a photo with him. Whether there is internet or not, the system will actually map him, match the location and say, yes, you did it. And then goes. If there is no internet, when he comes back, it assembles it and then updates the system. So this system has actually login, confirm GPS, upload photo. Now this system also detects if you are using fake GPS applications and immediately reports. So this system is issued specifically to each of the constables and tracks them, and the district, the SP can assign different, if SP or his officers can assign different patrol paths, locations, to ensure that if there is a special event coming, change the planning, all of it is completely automated by us. Yeah, something like this. Around 576 constables are on board on the platform, and they're covering around 877 locations across Sindhudurg to ensure that none of the areas where there is a historical crime pattern or a potential of crime are left unattended. Next. Yeah. Like I said, the application will be like, you have to go to the location. You can't simply say, I went near there and then came back. No, you have to go to that location. Only then application will say, yes, you have covered this log. Next. So this also created a model where the police department is also able to identify who are the employees who are doing good job, who are not doing good job. They are able to score them on discipline and also on ensuring for public also. Now public also sees regularly the same beat patrol person coming and going. Now that also increases the sense of confidence that the public has on the department. Yeah. Now the next, I said, now this data and the CCTV data are to be integrated, so that whenever there is an important incident happening, so the nearby beat patrol constable can be asked to cover that area too additionally, or he can pass on information to another tourist police or any other unit, so that some security mechanism can be done. And going forward, I'll tell you what to next. Going forward, hotspot planning. Which crimes are happening at what location? Where the patrol frequency has to be increased or has to be reduced. So all those decisions will be data-based now and also based on resources available. And now he also knows, the SP, which areas, which constable has understanding of. So that during postings and plannings, that data can also be utilized. Next. Delayed patrols will be punished. So we've also come up with a solution to build AI-based solution for Agri. Again in Sindhudurg, we tried. Yeah. The bigger challenges are weather. Weather is a very, very big challenge in this coast, which also naturally leads to pest and disease outbreaks. And again, availability of expertise, shortage of expertise. So shortage of expertise is something that AI can effectively handle. Next, please. So we built around 4 components as a part of it. One is chatbot for advising the farmer on queries and questions. This, of course, is both Marathi and English. Weather-based solutions. Now, weather-based solutions, we had to eventually depend on IMD data, which is not really fine-grained yet. So we moved to SkyMate and others to provide services. And we wish this is a place where now currently we are working with IIT Bombay to build our own automatic weather stations to collect our own data and come to a better conclusion about weather than waiting for, at the end of the day, announcement by IMD or others. And because at the end of the day, farmer wants what will affect his farm. He's not interested in whether there will be rain in the district or not. He's interested, will my crop get rain or not? Which means the weather data that we provide to the farmer has to be specific to his farm. That is a big challenge we have. Next, please. So we also figured out farmers also would want a service like they can simply take a photo and ask, is this the pest? What pest is it? What am I supposed to do next? So that inputs also we have built in. So the application looks like this, like a chatbot. You can simply ask your queries, both in Marathi and English. So you can also read the query or answer the query. That features are also available. It actually tells you immediately your forecast. And you can also provide what crop you have. Currently, we support only 2 crops, which are the most prominent crops of the district, cashew and mango. You can say my crop is 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old. Accordingly, you get advice according to that situation. Next, please. We also have an image-based solution. So now this is something that we are also working with Mahavistar to ensure that this coverage also expands drastically. Improved image analysis. This we continue to do as and when. This is a regular process of upgrades that we do for all the districts. Now, if this solution plus an automatic weather station would be an extraordinarily deadly combo. Because automatic weather station with soil sensors will be able to help the farmer quickly understand what is the weather that is going to be and how his soil is deficient in what nutrients, given the weather circumstance, what is the next course of action that he must be taking. All these inputs can be effectively managed together. Next, please. Yeah. Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. Yeah. So come back. Next, please. Now, generally what happens is, this is again largely related to how do we ensure that the ML solutions that we build in Marvel are not really hallucination proof. How do we ensure that? So what we do is we actually build networks like this. These are our ontologies next. Now, based on the ontologies, the model is able to correctly reason and connect the dots. Now, this is one such example from a law enforcement background. Let's say, for example, a law enforcement organization where this type of system sort of asks a question. What is the nature of relationship between A, B, C? The model is able to understand A is also known as that person. A is a financier. A used to deal with Hawala networks. Now, did B deal with any of those Hawala networks? And then answers the question. And maps the relationships nicely here. So that this is a system which is built on the basis of cause-effect relationships, which can be explained to a judge. Next. Same way. Next. We also track and accumulate our own knowledge base. Next. Yeah. So this is a solution that we generally offer to state police organizations at district level and state level. So obviously this is also an extremely sensitive solution, but I'll try to cover whatever I can from this solution. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So next slide. This is basically the type of data that we cover. Generally, organizations have large volume of data. I mean, usage, case-wise, tracking each case, collecting internal data, external data, demos, FIRs, audio-based analysis. So if there is an audio recording available, if we are able to fingerprint and say the same person or not, and what is the person actually talking about it. Next. And also bank statement analysis. Is there a fund flow happening between the accounts? You know, all those complex solutions we're able to effectively offer. And they also generally get a lot of forensic backups of the suspects. Now, the forensic backups have to be analyzed very, very confidently. So those forensic backup analysis is also integrated into this platform. Next. Email dumps, which we get from law enforcement and other places. Next. Investigation, you can also add any audio or video to do a face match or an audio match or a suspect match automatically. Next. You can also interact with it as a chat. Next. Like I said, they given the example of linkages and all that. We also build automatic profiles of targets who are already in your radar. Because generally what happens, the targets change their names, just try to avoid attention, maintain low profile. So you don't realize that there are 10 murders happened in your location, all of them sourced weapon from same guy. Because in each case, that detail is a small detail. But as a district level, if you look at it, that's an extremely important detail. So these small things are lost in the large volume of data. We help them find those linkages and leads. Next. We can also help them with dark web data, connecting linkages across dark web. Next. Yes. So this is broadly a set of capabilities that we have built in Marvel. And largely, most of them are largely related towards expanding what AI can do to make governance more effective. Most of them are not really citizen facing, but they are largely governance facing, with any clear intent to improve the quality of governance using AI wherever possible in a manner that it helps the government officer or the government employee deliver his mandate more effectively. If anybody have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer. Yes, ma'am, currently in Sindhudurg, but many districts are actually in touch with us to see how they can do it. Yes, ma'am. So Marvel, like I said, is a 100% government of Maharashtra owned company. So Marvel's purpose is to push AI into a different components of governance. Ma'am, no, ma'am. We are based primarily in Nagpur, even though we have a deployments in here. We have deployments with many police units, and we also have interactions with multiple Mantralaya units. We also have a small team working out of Maha IT. So those are there, ma'am. We have relationships with different units in Maharashtra government.
For the SAM-MAM management, that ICTs itself is having its website and having the good data. So are you connecting with
Ma'am, basically the challenge with that is the health, especially looking at SAM-MAM management, interacts with right from district to country level, the national level. There are different interventions and different data points. But the field of action is actually the district. So at the end of the day, all the data has to flow through and finally reach the Anganwadi or the DMHO or the civil surgeon. So that is what we realized in our interaction. Ma'am, in Marvel, we are very clear. We are not here to reinvent what is already done. That is, we are very clear about it. We don't want to do another job which is already done well or by someone else. What we are trying to find is, where are the critical gaps, the small gaps, which are essential for outstanding delivery of public services. And we are just trying to focus on that gap only. Which is why we are not reinventing Poshak. We have no interest in competing with Poshak. Be it in agriculture also. We have no interest in competing with Mahavistar. Mahavistar is a fantastic platform. So whatever we can do from our side to support Mahavistar, we will do. That's what Marvel's point of view is.
Yeah, regarding the health centers, you get the consent from the individuals before uploading their data, and who is uploading, and are you providing like capacity building for them?
So the person who is uploading is the field professional himself, the doctor himself. And this data is not leaving the premises of Government of Maharashtra. So the data is actually created by Government of Maharashtra in the first place. So it is their own data of the person, used only to provide advisory service to him. So there is no other way of using this data. And whatever tool we have built creates a metadata on the top of this data, purely only to help him. So there is no usage conditions or anything behind that.
The person knows that the data is used.
Used by who?
Like
AI?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, he knows that. Because they see, no? Because at the end of the day, doctor says, see, I don't have the radiologist signature yet. But I think this is what is happening. What do you want me to do now? So for a person who is undergoing pain because he has a fracture, I think the answer is straightforward from his point of view. In fact, by the way, I'm happy to tell you, the radiologist was also on this platform now. He simply approves it. If wherever he thinks that judgment is good, he simply approves and signs it. So that way, it reduces the pain point for all of them.
And regarding the alarm in forest, it's an alarm or it's a message that goes to the forest department?
See, the message goes to the forest department with a snapshot. Alarm is done in the pillar itself. The pillar itself makes a noise. Because see, I have a pillar where the camera is set. I've spotted a tiger. This itself makes noise to scare off the tiger.
So doesn't it like create some noise pollution? Like again,
Yeah, I mean, but I think we should. I think as a society or as a department or as a village, they have made a choice that that person's life is more important than noise pollution.
That's maybe more than the harm protection as well as the human attacks as well.
Yes, ma'am. So another say, related challenge is also elephants. But whether we don't have elephants, not really. Tiger is a bigger problem. So elephants have a totally different level problem. Again, there the sound also scares them. The idea is to spot when I spot a tiger and when I have already seen a human before within the vicinity. Now I have to do it. So that's in fact that's the mandate that we have got from the forest department. It's not like our choice, but I think there is also some logic in it.
Did you find any that kind of cases like a lion is also there, human being is also there, you demonstrated your alarm?
Thankfully, not yet. Because, ma'am, like I said, frankly, we don't know what tiger will do. But what we can do is the best possible chance. The tiger definitely thinks there is something bigger than me. If the tiger thinks there is nothing bigger than me, then you have to run. Tiger will not run.
More in the buffer areas it is required, like they have a more area as well as the
Ma'am, buffer, yes. Buffer is where this is. Core, generally, we don't expect humans inside. So that is not really a... So this solution is deployed just around the villages. There's a layer of protection around the villages. So even the villager also, he knows that whenever he's going out, he tries to go. There are like villages like a circle. So he tries to take the path near the ton, near this watch. It will tell you. So you're just walking in, there's a tiger we have already seen. Beep, 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 beep. Immediately. At least you know now what to do. Rather than you simply walk in and then get into trouble.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Take care.
small issue. ADG sir,